Hi there YouTube family, and welcome into today's video, which is going to be all about my self-tanning routine. I did have a couple of you ask what I do for that and what I use for a product for that, so I'm going to bring that to you today. But before we get started, I am reminding everybody to please hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button, because YouTube has changed its algorithm once again, and if you don't do that, then I might not show up in your feed sometimes. Okay, so what do I do for my tanning routine? So let's step through it step by step so that you know what you need to do to have a really good tanning routine. The number one thing is you actually do need to exfoliate. Now, so many people are like, why do I need to exfoliate? What's the deal with that? Well, it's really important simply because all of the dead skin that you have on, if you have dry skin, if you have dead skin, all of that skin is going to pick up a patchiness when you use the whatever product that you choose to use for self-tanner, and it's going to kind of cling to those, and then you're going to have it the next time possibly come off, and then your tan is going to look blotchy one way or the other. So please exfoliate. And what I do, just so you know, I will use a sugar scrub, which I forgot to bring up here, but I use the Soap and Glory sugar scrubs in the big pot, and they seem to work fantastic. And I will do every part that I'm going to do, and I do my legs, I do my arms, I do my chest, and I try to get around to my back, but it's a little bit harder. So I do that. On my legs and my feet, I actually have this wonderful little tool that I got for just very cheap at TJ Maxx, and I use the brush side right here, and then I will use the brush side, and I will kind of go against the grain of how your hair grows, and I'll go against the grain and get that skin really roughed up on there, and then I will shave, and then I will exfoliate after that, because the less that you have in the way, the smoother the tan's going to look. So that's one thing that I would suggest to you is that, and this has got my hair in it. Everything has my hair in it because I'm losing my hair. Anyway, I would suggest to you that you get either a dry brush, which is really good for your circulation anyway, or you get some sort of a brush like this. Now, if you don't like to exfoliate with a product like the sugar scrubs, then you can just use a regular washcloth. It works just as good. This is actually what I use on my face and my neck to exfoliate right before, because I don't want to get too aggressive with my exfoliation on my face before I tan. So the next thing is I always go in with a little bit of moisturizer, and I just happen to grab my Sol de Janeiro one because it's the Boom Boom Cream, and it's the one that I absolutely am in love with right now. If you guys have never smelled this, go into Sephora and smell it. It smells like you've been tanning for days, and it just is a wonderful smell. Beachy, pina colada, vanilla, caramel smell. It's just great. I love it. But I will put some moisturizer on my elbows. I put a little bit of moisturizer on the palms of my hands, and right here I pay attention to this, and it got a little bit, even though I did, it got a little bit extra sun tanning on there. But yeah, I'll put it right there. I will put it on my knees. I will put it on my ankles and the bottom and around the edges of my feet where I can get really dry. So anywhere that you feel like you can get really dry, it actually does help to do this. Don't use a ton, because all you're trying to do is have it not grab onto the dry patches. And we all probably get dry on our elbows and our knees, obviously. But I actually put it on the palms of my hands too, to keep it from staining the palms of my hands. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So really important to do a tiny bit of moisturizing. Don't put it all over you. That's for after your tan. Don't put it all over you, or your tan won't sink into your skin. So that is important before you start to just do that tiny bit of moisturizing on there. Okay, then I go to the dollar store and I pick up some surgical gloves. These are, you can get the latex ones, or you can get the latex free, and I pick these up, and I always wear gloves because you will stain your hands. And if you've ever done that, you know what I'm talking about. Your hands will turn into Oompa Loompa hands, and they will be just bright, bright orange. So I always wear those. And the other thing that I have is a tanning mitt. This one is from Saint-Tropez. I've had it forever. You can throw these in the washer when you're done with them, and they come out looking great. Mine, other one that I have is kind of really stained because I was using a different product than the one I'm going to show you. But definitely put your gloves on and then use a mitt. And the reason that I use a mitt is because it seems to distribute it more evenly than if I were to just put the product on my, wherever I'm tanning and then use it. Okay, so what about the product? The product that I use is from Tantal. It's an ultra lightweight tanning mist. This is the self tanning mist. I do not spray this on me and then rub it. I actually will spray it onto the mitt and then I will go ahead and rub it. And I always work in sections. So I will spray this like 2 or 3 times across the mitt, and then I will do like my forearms, and I will completely go all the way around my forearm and do it. And then I'll spray it again, and then I'll do my upper arms. And it just, it depends. You can feel whether or not you're getting completely covered. I do this everywhere, and I'm going to show you. It's just a colorless mist. There's nothing to it at all. But when you first start using this, it won't like make you really dark really fast. You have to build it up. So if you want a really dark tan right away, this is going to take you like about probably 3 or 4 times of applying it. And you can apply this right in a row. So if you wanted it to be really darker, all you'd have to do is you'd have to do your body, your first layer first, wait 10 to 15 minutes, do another layer, wait for 10 to 15 minutes, do another layer. And the reason is because it sinks into the skin so well and it's so good. And then you only have to wait like 10 minutes before you do get dressed, and you can just get dressed and go, and it will develop throughout the day. I usually do mine right before bed, and right now I'm just kind of in the part where I'm deciding how dark I want to go because it is just spring so far. So why did I choose to use this one? I have had a couple of different ones that showed you the color, and you'd have to put the color on, decide how long you wanted it to develop, 1 to 3 hours, and then you go take a shower. I haven't had a lot of success with that. I don't know why. And the other thing is that because I do have aging skin and I do have some age spots all over, the other products that I've tried has kind of accentuated those age spots. So I've kind of steered away from them. This one doesn't seem to do as bad. That's one thing that you do need to know if you are older and mature and you are going to self-tan, is that it will accentuate your age spots a bit. Because what happens is that skin's already dark and you're actually going to be making it darker, just like any light part of your skin it would do and make it darker. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as you're doing self-tanning, but I really do love the Tantal product. I love having the Tantal packages, and I have purchased those so many times in the past. The convenience of having those and just using those and going over your body. And I never really bought the classic ones. I always bought the darker ones because I felt like the tan turned quicker on it. So if you want to try those, try those. If you want to try this one will last you a little bit longer, but I do love having those Tantals. I loved having them because they were so easy. You tear open the package, it's a one-time use. You use it all over your body. And even when you get the half towels that they have, it can do almost all of your body with one of those. So they're really great to have, but I chose to do this one because I knew that I wanted to do extra tanning for Kayla's wedding this year. Now, after that, after the color has developed, or you've given it like about 3 hours to develop, if you feel dry. Actually, I don't wait that long on my face. I will give that about a half an hour on my face because I cannot stand how dry my face gets with anything. And I'll give it about 15 minutes to a half an hour for it to sink in. And then I'll go ahead and put my moisturizer and my creams on my face. But the rest of my body, I let it develop. And then I'll go over and I'll put an oil on or a really heavy cream on. And that's another thing, that when you are tanning, make sure that you wear a really hydrating moisturizer because you want that tan to look as pretty as possible. You can wear something, if you want to wear something that has a little bit of a glisten in it, it's beautiful like that. Or if you want to just wear just your regular lotions, it's pretty too. It is a little bit harder for a woman that is mature to do self-tanning. And the reason is because of all the little extras that we have compared to those girls that have that fresh, young 20-year-old skin, but it still is very beautiful on us. And if you take those extra steps, you can have just as beautiful skin, if not more beautiful, because of the wisdom that lies underneath the skin. So that's everything for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all in my very next video. Bye, you guys.